I'm happy to have you here. And believe me, I love it to be happy. An old man comes to the stage, I'm 60, and it's a joke, and he starts his speech with the words, me, myself, and I. And exactly this is what we are doing today. But there's a good reason. It's not my ego, it's not my arrogance. I'm your private testimonial today about the transfer from sport to business to your university, maybe to daily life also. Extreme sports is tough. Business is tough too, and daily life sometimes not so easy. I've made my experiences, and I could transfer this because I'm owner of a concert agency since more than 30 years. I know a bit about business. We will talk about motivation, targeting your goals, resilience, changing perspectives as tools which can help. But first of all, my story. You see me here, quite okay, healthy, not that bad. But the story is a bit different. 20 years ago, on a Monday morning, I brought our horses to the green. I'm living on the countryside on a farm. I saw some stars. And the next moment, I'm in the hospital. The doctor stands in front of me and says, Mr. Fuchsgruber, you already know the reason for your stay here. And I said, not really. And he said, we have the suspicion of a really tough heart attack. And I said, oh. But I feel safe for the moment. You are in the hospital, the doctor is standing there, the machines are making beep, 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 beep. And my first idea was, Fuchsgruber, you should do some sports. Because my story is, I was addicted. I was addicted to alcohol really, really heavily since it was a bit more than 15 years. Sometimes drunken 7 days a week, 24 hours. In the morning, in the afternoon, in the night, and in the middle of the night. I was thinking about to do some sport, and I had to stop because the direction was, which way do you want to go? Back to life? This way, graveyard. I'm here, you know my decision. I made my detox. I'm sober since nearly 20 years, stone cold sober every day. It's a challenge. There's also a transfer. And after by the approval of the doctors, some months later, I made my first run in Cologne, about 3 kilometers. Red hat, no breathe. I had to walk back to my car. I did it again the next morning. And the next morning, it was quite the same. And since that time, nearly 20 years ago, I'm going out for running every day. Every day. So I was running 2 times around the world, or a bit more, some 5,000 K in competitions in the desert or in the jungle. The point is, after the decision to do this, we had some really great new experiences. I'm telling you about that's what I'm doing. I'm doing races since some 15 years, most in the desert. These are stage races. We are running every day some 40 or 50 K, about 5 or 6 days. You see me here running in Jordan with a backpack. In the backpack I have food for the whole week, for the whole 250 K. I have the sleeping bag, I have the sleeping mattress and everything else I need except water. That would be too much. And a tent. So we are running every day from checkpoint to checkpoint. Every 10 K there's a checkpoint. We get some fresh water. You need a lot of water in the desert. And we are going on. Then we are coming to a camp like this. This is the Namib Race, made by a company called Racing the Planet. We are coming into this camp. In the afternoon, we sleep in the tents, and the next morning, we will go out, run further to the next camp, 40, 50K, and so we will make a loop or one direction or whatever, about 250K, sometimes 500. Exactly 10 years after my accident, my sobriety, I was winning a race. It was the same month. I was winning my first race in Namibia, about 250K. The Desert Ultra, that about patience and humility. You know the word patience. It's not so easy. Patience, you know it? Right now, we need patience. We need patience right now, exactly. No, it needs the time. It needs the experience. It took some 10 years to make this one from the guy who was running 3K and then 250. Meanwhile, I'm getting older. I'm not getting faster. That's the deal. That's life. That's not bad. But you can change the perspectives. And I was changing perspectives. Running for rankings. Meanwhile, I'm running for encounters. If it is in Mozambique like here. Imagine you would run in Germany through a little village. What would happen? Your word for the people outside, nothing. You're running in Mozambique, on the countryside. 20 kids are running with you, smiling, and even the old Fuchsgruber is smiling on this picture because he's very happy. I'm going into every bar on the way for a Coke, having a talk, then I'm going back out on the race and going on. Okay, in the desert you don't have so many bars, but when you're running like here in Mozambique or Sao Tome or whatever, you will have some fun, changing the perspectives. And you have some incredible moments and encounters, face-to-face encounters, by chance, like this. I love him. And much better, I love his grandpa. Should I say anything about this picture? We were talking, he's Portuguese, he's talking Portuguese in Mozambique. I don't know any Portuguese, obrigado, adio, okay? That's it. We were talking about some 10 minutes about life. Incredible, an incredible experience. Sometimes I have some encounters that are very different, like this. It was a training run before a race in Namibia, and I was coming around a big rock or a little mountain or something like that, and we came along this, and then these both rhinos, there are two on the picture, these both rhinos were standing there. Also me, not them. And with all the respect that I have, we were looking on each other, and then I was going slowly, be careful, slowly backwards with respect, and everything was good. This is changing perspectives, is one thing. We are coming back to this later. The next thing, dealing with a crisis. I had a crisis. I had a big crisis in 2020. In January, I had my first slip disc. I could not walk or move anymore. On March, I had my last show, my last concert, James Blunt in the Elbphilharmonie Hamburg. In April, I broke my hip, could not move. And on the 1st of May, my mother died, totally healthy, by a bicycle accident. These 4 months, these 4 issues were too much for me. I fell into a depression, and I was sitting on my terrace and was not speaking for work for a week with my daughter, with my wife. And then I decided to do something. And I remembered a quote of Steve the Chaser, who was saying, goals are like locomotives, they bring the solutions behind them. Goals are like locomotives, they bring their solutions behind them. I was going to the places I had the first holidays with my mama and my papa in the south of France. I was sitting on the beach and I said, I need a new goal. I'm in a crisis. I have no more work. COVID pandemic, no more work for 2 years. That is really a problem. And I was sitting on the beach and said, okay, Tanya, my wife and me, we will have our anniversary 100th birthday in May 2021. We are quite close with the birthdays. What can we do? 100, 100, 100, 1,000, 1,000, okay. And I was coming back at home, was talking with my wife. She was happy that I'm talking again, and said, what do you think about a 1000K race through the Namib Desert. And she said, okay, point one, I'm happy that you're talking again. Point two, you're totally crazy. I thought we would do a garden party. But she's a runner too, and we decided to do this. And I came back in my business. I came back into doing, because I'm organizing shows, big shows for Ed Sheeran, Coldplay, whatever. And this is my life, and I love it. And so I could organize my own show. It was working permissions for drones flying, the TV team, the local team, the course making, the doctor, everything. And I was happy I could work again. And then we did what we did, and we have a little film.
Wir können das erste Mal die Weite hier wirklich sehen, durch die wir bald laufen werden. Ich habe schon das erste Mal Tränen in den Augen und ein Kloß im Hals.
Wir sind klar?
Ich kenne den Weg nicht.
Da lang. So, ein Kuss, ein Startschuss.
Okay. Go! Go! 1000 kilometers, here we come!
Der erste Tag ist immer der schwerste. Du kommst aus Europa und auf einmal sollst du hier 62, 65 Kilometer in Afrika laufen. Du hast das Gefühl noch nicht, du hast die Hitze noch nicht. Und du hast natürlich morgens, wenn du startest, einfach einen riesen Bammel, dass diese Aufgabenstellung oder dieser Versuch, hier 1000 Kilometer zu laufen, vielleicht doch eine Nummer zu groß ist.
Jetzt lege ich mich in den Schatten und mache eine Stunde her.
Der entzündete Fuß von Tanja und die entzündeten Zehen werden immer breiter durch die Bandagen, aber auch durch den Entzündungsprozess.
Ich habe noch über dich gelacht, als du gesagt hast, kauf dir große Schuhe.
Happy birthday, dear Rafael. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip! Hip hip! Happy birthday, dear Tanja. Happy birthday to you.
Das ist auf jeden Fall zu viel und umso unebener der Boden ist, desto schwieriger ist es zu laufen. Ich hätte niemals für möglich gehalten, dass ich überhaupt jemals 1000 Kilometer laufe.
Für mich ist es der Hammer. Und ich stehe jetzt hier im Norden Namibias nach 1000 Kilometern und bin ein sehr glücklicher Mann.
I can tell you I still have goosebumps every time I see this film. 1000 kilometers, more than 3 million steps. Tanya was drinking every day 15 liters of water, every day. Me too. It was incredible. Ah, das war geil. So. 2016, the Sahara Desert, the White Desert in Egypt. A race about 200, we will talk not about races, we will talk about a transfer. A race about 260K non-stop in the White Desert. I got lost in the first night. I missed the way, my fault. I did it wrong. And even in the Sahara Desert in the night, it's quite dark. And it was freezing cold, and I had no water. I was lost. I decided to stay where I am, near a rock like this. And I climbed up to the rock. I took my headlamp, and there's a flashlight on it, and I made a flashlight, and I was standing there like a lighthouse in the night, sending signals in the dark. When I was too cold, I went down from the rock. I was running around the rock to be a bit warm, and I climbed up again. The result was, in the morning, I saw some lights from a car. And a jeep with some Bedouins came, picked me up, and brought me to the next oasis. You will find a good end, believe in it. So, today, you know it from your business, from your studying, your future is business. You will come into a meeting and somebody says, we have a real big problem with this project. You can imagine what I think in this moment. I think this is a real big problem. And sometimes, when it fits in the situation, I'm not thinking this, I'm talking with the people about that. Then I say in this call, hey people, this is not a problem. This is an issue, it's a topic, it's whatever. We are 20 professionals working on this project. We are the best the client could find in Germany to organize this show or this project. This is not a problem. The Sahara, I tell you the story, is a problem. Changing perspectives. You know this water, this glass of water, half full, half empty. Hey, I'm a desert runner. That does not interest me. I drink it. I don't think about it. And the same is with that. When we are talking about this, then they say, you are right. It is the issue. We are professionals. We bring it to a good end. And you are right. It's not a real big problem. Changing perspectives. It can help that much. This, what you see there, is the hottest place on Earth. Definitely. It's the TEDxWHU Desert in Iran. Hotter than the Death Valley, everything, the highest temperature was measured was 70.7 degrees Celsius. I was running a race about 200K on 56 average during the day. And we are talking now, we had the dealing with the crisis in the beginning with Namibia. Big goals, targeting your goals. Take big goals, they are easier to hit, really. We are talking about transfer. Now we are talking about routines. I'm going out every day in the morning. I don't have to think about it. I have a dog, and we are going out for 60 or 90 minutes running in the woods. That's it. It's the same way like I go in the morning to the coffee machine. I don't have to think. I don't have to motivate myself. It's a routine. Routines are helpful. They are so easy. You have to introduce it for yourself. You need some 3 months when you take it 3 times a week. When you do it 5 or 6 times a week, you probably get it in 6 or 8 weeks. Then you don't have to think about it anymore to motivate yourself. And that was the way like I was going into the TEDxWHU Desert like a routine. And I did it, and I was winning it because I was not thinking so much about it, that it is hot. And the routines, the most important routine in my life is every morning with my little daughter. Mentally disabled by a genetic defect, she's just living in the day. Not the future, not the past. In the day. We are sitting in bed, hot chocolate for her, coffee for me, looking out of the window. And we are talking about 2 topics, 2 issues for the day we will care about. And in the evening at the dinner, we meet again and then we are talking about these 2 topics. She for her in school or with her girlfriends, me, business or whatever. 2 a day, not 7, the problem of failure. 2 a day makes 14 a week. It makes so much more in the month and in the year. And when you find out 2 every day in the morning or something else, then it's a power. It's a real power all over the year. And all the crises and catastrophes I mentioned, I just can tell you, like Mark Twain said, now I'm an old man. I suffered so many catastrophes, but most of them never happened. Find out what works good for you and do more of that. Thank you. Merci.